Hello. I'm Lara Joe, Siren Song Lover. We're gonna do some tarot. Let us see what we need to know. Okay, we'll take this card, Empress. All right. We could be planning or starting a new adventure, a new family. Okay, Empress is sitting in that abundant energy. Hello. How are you guys today? So we have Hierophant and King of Swords. Okay. So Hierophant, King of Swords, this is Taurus energy, and then masculine air potentially, or it could be, actually this is heavy Taurus between Empress, Hierophant. It's also Libra energy. It's that Venusian, beautiful, grounded, fertile, yet we have been dealing with the King of Swords, someone who's, this is a masculine energy that's cutting, it's sharp, it's biting, it's, decisive about what you want. Okay, let's say it like that. That's like being decisive about what you want, especially if you've been dealing with personalities that are sharp and cutting and not very kind. Okay, let us see if anything else tarot wise is gonna come out. We'll take those two since they're kind of okay. King of Cups, and Four of Pentacles. So King of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, masculine energy. Four of Pentacles, we've been in that hoarding energy with finances. It's like we don't know what's coming, how it's coming, anything like that. With Empress and Hierophant, knowing, it's like because Empress and Hierophant, because it's Taurus energy, it's very intuitive. So it's the knowing, the higher knowing that it's all going to work out and all be okay. Even though you have masculine energies, this can also be a feminine in masculine energy. Always take that as that way. It's like it could be a feminine air sign or feminine water sign, but they're in that unhealed, like that distorted energy. And realizing, okay, dealing with these parties has left me feeling financially unstable. It's like, how am I going to make the light bill type of energy? All right, let's see what energy we need off of that. Oh, your girl was busy today. Thank you, Hose Mad, for liking my live. I greatly appreciate it, baby. All right. Okay, Page of Cups. This is, again, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is that immature energy. So, and this could be even our own emotions. Like this is child. Okay. Be safe, Debbie girl. This is that emotional, it's that immature energy though. It's like you got stuck in that childhood, thank you. Of course. And sowing an energy, liking the live, commenting when it resonates is always a great way to get more insight because it kind of creates that channel. So, all right. Page of Cups. This is that, like I say, emotional, like we're stuck in our childhood patterning around what does love look like. Like none of us truly knew how to be loved. And that's society, that's our parents. Yes, that's great too. Also, yes, as we get the algorithm out there and more people can be assisted, and that's also how we show love when we can't, like, I love when people interact and when they like, because then it's like, even though you can't necessarily contribute, you're contributing by driving the algorithm out there and then potentially, bringing in people that can contribute. So it's the beauty of it. Okay. Tower, it's in reverse. It's okay, so the tower must fall, and though it's like you've been so afraid to let go of that thing. I need you to realize you need to think bigger than who you're around, because it's like and I spoke about this yesterday, it's like we make contracts with people because if we were to financially supersede their existence in our life, then we would no longer need them. So baby, I need you to dream bigger. Let that person go. Okay, that person that can't love you, that person that's emotionally immature, that is unable to fill your cup, let them go. And this is also having discipline with ourselves, like telling ourselves, like, no, I don't need to go over there. I don't need to do that thing. And realizing that it's safer. Like, I know a lot of times my life looks boring as hell, but I'm like, I'm also not out. Oh my gosh. Okay. On TikTok, there was the Don't Date Him Atlanta page. I was like, my life may seem boring as hell. I'm at home chilling with my animals, but I'm not getting trapped up with these dusty men in Atlanta. They're landing on this page. And I'm sad because it just got pulled down. I was like, nope. There were a lot of people on that list, and that's also why I'm not out in the street. So it's being emotionally enough, like mature enough to say, you know what, I don't need to go to that bar. I don't need to go hook up with that person, because you don't know always. All right. The men in Atlanta, actually, I have one man from over 2 years ago that still pops up to say hello, and I've blocked him. I've told him to get the fuck away. Like, he actually inspired me to to come up off my dating app for a little while and adopt 2 cats. And the fact that he's still popping up 2 years later trying to be like, hey baby, I'm like, no, you scared me enough that I did not want to put my toes in the dating pool here, because last time he contacted me though, he's like, hey babe, and I was like, if you want to talk to me, you need to book through my site. Like, we're not. And he's like, I'm not paying, don't you know who this is? And I'm like, block. Yeah, girl. Because sweet nothings, if there's nothing to back those sweet nothings, it's not a good deal. Like, we have come to the point, especially with babies, like, we need solid men, we need solid offers, we need solid everything, because it's that whole, yeah, they can sweet talk all they want, except for, where is that going to get us? I mean, I'm a prime example. Like, 3 babies later, that sweet talking, I'm like, oh, because they were all words and no true action, no true follow through. So it's, again, realizing, like, okay, so first off, I love to say to people, don't watch the mouth, watch the chest, because wherever the chest moves, that's their intention. So they can say all they want and run here, yet if their chest leads them in a wrong direction, you gotta watch that. Also, side note, stop liking people on potential. Like them on what they show you. Like, except, okay, this is the other part I'm going to say. We are not here to save anyone. So I had that example today. I was like, because I've seen a video, it was like, imagine being the third party and she thinks she's the savior because, you know, he's in such an unhappy marriage. I was like, no, we need to stop being Captain Save-A-Ho, even with the men, is be like, I'm sorry you were hurt, baby, but you need to go heal. You need to go to therapy. You need to come back and realize, like, the good. And emotional maturity, emotional intelligence is so much sexier than games. Yes. And you will save him, and then he will turn around and go mess it up or give it to someone else. That's like my own personal experience, having been out there a long time. So, Queen of Cups, because you are meant, remember we had already the Page of Cups and the King of Cups, Queen of Cups, you are meant to sit in your beautiful, receptive being energy, because women are receptive, right? So, having that man that makes you feel safe, protected, loved, provided for, led, and realizing your emotions are valid. And as the Queen of Cups, we can't pour into anyone else's cup, not our lover, not our kids, not anything. I'll address that in a minute, without filling our cup first, because we have to fill from overflow. Okay. Did he baby trap you? And no, girl, no, we're not saving him even if you're pregnant. Yeah, no, so you have to be willing to say, good day, I'm out, bye-bye. Because an absent father is better than an abusive father, okay? Like, long term, I will say this, my son's dad, I became a single mom at 3 weeks with my son, and I put myself through x-ray school as a single mom, because because I was 19 when I got pregnant. I moved home, like I say, 3-week-old baby. When he turned a year, I went back to school, put myself through x-ray school. And his dad, when my son turned 18, he called to yell at his dad. I never kept my son from his dad. I never kept his dad from him. I just said, if you're going to be, a Disneyland dad or inconsistent, like, you're not going to tell me you're coming to pick my son and then you don't show up. Like, you've got one chance to do that. And if you do it more than that, you're out. My son called his dad on his 18th birthday, and his dad, and like I say, his dad was completely absent. My son turned into a really freaking cool kid, even without his dad. And his dad complained about me. His dad, like, tore me a new one. And I was like, I raised that kid completely by myself. He turned into an amazing freaking human. And all you do is complain about me? Like, be so freaking for real. Like, carry around your own body line, chalk mark. Yeah. And babe, you can't, even if they say it, remember how I said they say they love you, but if they're out busy around the streets, or if you have to go on actions. This is, when people show you red flags, leave. Because it's like, if we want to get further, we have to be willing to see the worst in people. I know that that's horrifying, but start seeing the worst in people if you truly want to get to your best outcome. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the other thing. It's like, if he can't satisfy you, because you're young, right? If he can't satisfy you, that's your enjoyment in life. And you can't go with someone until they heal that trauma. Because if he were to heal that trauma, right, if he were to actually sit down, do the work, and address the emotions and all that, just his body would naturally heal. And I speak from personal experience. Like, I have overcome stuff because it's like I couldn't because of the trauma before, and now it's like, okay, well, now I've healed that, so it's no longer triggering my body, because our cellular memory holds on to that trauma. Until he actually does the work on it, it'll keep hijacking him. So, baby, run. I'm going to tell you run. And not like, run, rabbit, run. No, I'm talking about like, run like your life depends on it. Okay, babes? You and your babies deserve stability, happiness, a man that can show up and be there. Okay? All right. Let's see. What else? Okay, hermit, going within. Protecting yourself, using your hard shell and pulling your most intimate body parts in so that you don't get hurt. Because what do turtles do when they get scared? They pull everything in, right? So the same with us. When we need to heal ourselves, when we need to reflect, this is also reflection. It's that sitting still, going within. Because when you're listening, like, yeah, I get it. Excuse me. It's that going within, because so this is also where when people are being really noisy, like, I love you, I love you, I love you, that's when you need to pull back and actually reflect and be like, do you love me though? And you don't ever have to ask them, and that's the other, when people go through a lot of trauma or they're abusive, I don't explain shit to people that are abusive, because I'm like, all you're gonna do, they're gonna give you so much noise so that you get confused and you stay stuck. Like, you get stuck in the fight, flight, or fawn. And we get stuck also in that whole, oh, he's gonna change, or he'll change for a minute and then backslide worse, and you're like, what? So this is drowning out the voice and looking at what the actual truth of it is, like the clarity behind it. Okay, Queen of Pentacles is on the bottom, so that's how we want to sit, is that beautiful, bold embodiment. We're nurturing, we have everything we want, love, need, and desire. Yep. And it's gonna be not easier, but it would be easier to separate that before baby gets here too, is just be completely done. And here's the point with my son's dad, even with my ex-husband, when we parted ways, and I was like, I will raise these like, you have to mentally say, I'm gonna figured out, no matter what, how to raise these babies without that man. Don't ever depend on that man to show up. Don't ever depend on him to be financially responsible. Like I say, that's how I got through it with my son, because it was like, I knew his dad, like I didn't know, but I knew his dad was never going to show up and assist and help and pay. So it was, no matter what, I'm going to get it done. That's why I moved home with my parents when I was 3 weeks old. And like I say, I put myself through extra school. I was single or not single, but like 7 years pretty well. The first 7 years of his life, it was just me. And then I married my ex. But I would have rather done that than ever have anything to ever expect his dad to show up or do anything. And we always make a way. I know I said that. Yep. Yes. Because men want us to be dependent upon them, but then they resent it and they don't actually want it. Like at their core, they really don't want it. So it's that if you say you need anything, then all of a sudden it's, oh, well, you're just needy, or it's like, no, this is your baby. Yes, we do need you to step up and be a father, because here is this. There are certain things that only a man can teach children, like boys or girls. Just like there are certain things that only a mother can teach children. So when people try to be like, oh, well, we don't need a man. No, there are certain things that your children need to learn from men, but they have to be healthy, responsible men. So, yeah, you don't need him unhealed. You don't. Because here is this part of it. The Capricorn, especially as risings, because the rising is who we are behind, like when nobody is really truly looking, that's what our rising, that's who we are honestly, is our rising sign. And that's who we're meant to be. An unhealed Capricorn, though, is they despise embarrassment, especially public embarrassment, yet Capricorns are obsessive. They've got, like, their OCD. They're very by the book. They're very taskmaster. There's a reason they're known as the devil. Oh, good God. There's a reason they're known as the devil in the tarot, because they are your addictions. They're literally like, you've got to, it's almost like when you walk the same path and then there's, girl, he's got, well, Sag isn't really obsessive, but Scorpio moon, the good luck. I was married to a 5 placement Scorpio, and his big shit was Scorpio, and he completely destroyed my freaking life. So yes, babe, run. But Capricorn, also though, like, they love to intentionally hurt other people. Because I started thinking about this, like, my tattoo artist here is a Capricorn, and he would intentionally hurt me when he was tattooing me, just to see, like, A, he loved it, but B, it was also to see if I would say anything about it. Because if I said anything about it, he was going to do it harder. So, and I also remember back to, like, how one of my best friends since 8 years old, how she despises, like, she can't even watch comedy movies because she hates the embarrassment. And how she enjoys being a debt collector. My former best friend, and she is a former best friend, but she loved being a debt collector, which again makes me like, they love creating pain and misery for other people, and then realizing, yep, that's no thank you. So yeah, I get that. Well, in Aries, so those are like 3 really hard signs, especially because Aries and Libra are like, they're counter signs from each other, yet they're diametrically opposite. Like, one of my karmic children, yeah, I absolutely love her, but she's an Aries, and it definitely is like, I'm gonna throw this little nugget out here really quickly while I'm thinking about it, and I'll just give these as examples, because so your friend signs are your sign and the signs that hug your sign, okay? And your enemies or your adversaries are the opposing sign of you, and the ones that are hugging that. So I'll use this as an example, like, because, okay, say as Libra, my friend signs, and I use that loosely, would be Virgo and Scorpio. And my opposition signs, like the ones that are here to help me grow the biggest and kind of become my biggest version, would be Taurus, Pisces, and Aries. So again, I'm going to say that again. My friend signs would be Libra, Virgo, Scorpio. My opposition signs would be Aries, Taurus, and Pisces. And when I look at it, because my father was a Taurus and my sister was a Pisces, and they did the worst. And any Aries, like I do love Aries, yet it's a really challenging dynamic. Every Aries in my life has always been just the bane of my existence. So, and yeah. And that is the other thing. Like, there are some things I don't play with women and children. I'm like, if you ever lay a hand on a woman, child, I will lay you out. If you, like, as a man, I'm like, if you ever touch me, you're gonna regret that. What else was I gonna say about that? Because there was something else I wanted to say. Actually, any man that, you puts their hands on a woman, I'm like, you're gonna have to fall asleep sometime. And I'll be waiting for you. And I'm very protective of the people I love. I'm very, like, if I claim you as one of my loves, like, I've had so many conversations I don't now, because I'm estranged from my family for specific reasons. I remember talking to my niece's boyfriend, and now they're married, and my brother's girlfriend, and they've been long-term. Yeah, I pulled both of them aside, and I said, if you ever hurt those people, I'll, good luck. Because I'm very protective. I'm like, you don't hurt the people I love, because I will, protect them. So, as a mama, especially if it's, like, potentially hazardous to your babies, you need to get out, bibs. That's actually why I moved home when my son was 3 weeks old, because my son's dad was into all kinds of stuff, which I didn't know when I got with him. I found that out way, like, after the fact, after I was already pregnant and all that crap. And he had been on a bender all weekend, and he had said, he's like, don't answer the phone, or don't answer the door, there are people looking for me. My next call after I got off the phone with him was to my mother and to one of my good friends. My good friend, I dropped my son off at my mom's house. My good friend came back, and we packed up the whole apartment, and I left. And I do remember, because I was super sad and crying and all that jazz, listening to Mbop on the way home by the Hanson brothers. But now when I hear it, I'm like, oh gosh, that takes me back 23 years to when my son was a newborn. Oh, so let us see if anything else. Oh, excuse me. All right. Queen of Wands. Fiery, passionate, protective, right? She's protecting her eggs. So as that mama, because we don't have anyone else to protect them other than us being so freaking protective over the things that are important to you, okay? And putting you and your babies above anyone else. I love it because we have Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, and the Hermit. So it's all that it's like emotionally stable, yet also fiery, passionate. Like, you're not gonna touch this. Like, you're not gonna do this. Okay? And I want to say again, a way will be made. I don't know why that really just, like, I know I said it earlier. I know I said it into my message to you earlier as well. A way will be made. Like, whatever is going on, like, there's going to be, and I don't know how it looks all the time. It's just, and I speak from experience on this as well. Like, there have been so many times that I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, or this looks hopeless. And then all of a sudden something will shift, sometimes even just slightly. And you'll get through it. And also, think of how many times and I know you've been in enough, and plenty of them, and I as well, where you'll be like, I have no freaking idea how I'm going to get through this. And yet you look back 5 years from then and you're like, I did it. So you have gotten yourself through 100% your hardest days completely by yourself. So do not doubt that if you put your faith in yourself, you put your faith in your higher self and the divine and everybody that's working with you, right? That you're going to find that path. And a lot of times, it's that whole walking faith over fear. A way will be made. Yes. Debbie, I love that you got that. Because good God. Yeah. And you know what? Hello, Eclectic Lemon Crochet. You know what's funny is I cuss my spirit guides out sometimes. And then they do something to like show me like, yeah, bitch, like I heard you. I'm not deaf. And I'm like, come on, man. They'll confirm to you though that like even when you fuss at your spirit guides, even when you cuss at them, like they love you, they're here to assist you, and they're gonna be sassy, but they'll show you that everything you've been stressed about is no big deal. And as scary as things are right now, because they really are scary for me personally, the last 2 days, this whole feeling of like my ancestors are on it. And I don't know how, and I don't know why, and I don't know what the fuck it looks like. But walking, again, that faith over fear, even if you're walking with a blindfold, just knowing all you have to do, even if I cannot see, is put one foot in front of the other. And the journey of 1,000 miles starts with one foot. One step. Right? That's all it fucking takes is one step in the right direction. One voice to be heard, one grain of rice to tip the scales. So do not ever doubt. Okay? And they're calling. And they're calling. Okay? I need you to leave an offering for your native ancestors. Probably tobacco. And so, okay, so first off, I was thinking about this today too. Gods, angels, demons, they all love alcohol and tobacco. To be completely honest, like archangels love to smoke and love to drink. Okay? So leaving an offering of tobacco, leaving an offering of alcohol, that's a good way to start that communication, that channel to say, hey, I recognize that you want to have place and space within my home, within my life, within my sphere. So here's me opening the door to say, hey, I want to do this. Okay, so I love that you talk about your native ancestors. Okay, so I live on very haunted land. It was former plantation land, but it's also like there's a lot of native energy around here. So today I haven't done it in a hot minute. I was saging, which I know people are gonna be like, that's a close practice. And here's this: deities, gods, they don't care what the skin tone is. It's the what's your vibration. Because I've had like Legba come through, and that's because a lot of people have sent Papa Legba to me, which is the dumbest shit ever, because I am a crossroads worker. I work in the crossroads. To send me Papa Legba is about the dumbest shit you can do, because I'm like, he's gonna be like, hey, what up, cuzzo, and come on in. So ancestors, don't be over here being like, those are close practices. It's like whatever your vibration is, that's the deity, that's the whatever that's going to come through and talk to you. So your native ancestors knock in, it's time, like I say, that you open that communication, and I would do that with an offering. And it's a lot of times what you have on hand around the home. So today, I know saging, I was out there saging. Yeah, we'll talk about that too. I was just talking about that last night. I love, cause if you're aware of it, cause our subconscious is 95% hidden. If you're aware of it, they want you to, cause that's 5%. If you know that they're calling you, or that you feel like curious about it, they're calling you. Like they've been calling you for a lot longer before now. You just became aware of it, babes. So, okay. The ancestors want you to come play, because when you heal, when you learn, they get released. All right. So Debbie, I was talking about how on my property, okay, so the first night I moved in here, and I moved on this land not really knowing much about it. I knew it was going to be heavy. I had no idea what can of worms I was getting into. And my spiritual door was still, it was open, but not like it is now. When the first night I moved in, it was 3 a.m, and I live in the woods, and I was out hanging curtains at 3 a.m. so that people wouldn't be able to see my house. And I was in the last room, and I was like, a serial unaliver used to live in this house. And that's been confirmed, like, with with other practitioners. But a serial unaliver lived in this house. And while I was saging, like I say, I did a huge sage because a lot of shit's been happening the last few days. One of the areas that I think that there's a body on this property caught me again today. And like I said, we were talking about it yesterday. I was talking about it with somebody yesterday, and then today, as I was doing the walk around and saging, I was like, there is a specific plot on my land that I think that someone's at, and I'm curious, so we'll see. And I was actually told that the mother of that baby would be somehow contacting me. I don't know how. And that's part of it too. Like, I help release spirits. Okay, so first off, I help release a lot of spirits. Second off, and bring closure to families and all of that jazz. I also take people back to the crossroads, though. Like, when people are truly messing up, they have a long date with Papa Legba or Anubis or Hecate or like, that is the part of it too. As you guys start expanding your spiritual knowledge, because the people that want to work with you, like the deities that want to work with you, the guides, the entities, as you expand that, you'll be like, oh, well, okay, in this case, like for me, it's like, okay, in this case, I need to call Anubis, or in this case, I need to call Persephone, or so it's that as you start expanding, you'll start realizing like you have so many archetypes to call upon to assist in your journey. Okay. So Debbie, I'm gonna ask you, when you get home, yeah. And goodbye isn't really goodbye. It's just see you later. Okay? It's goodbye is never goodbye. It's I'll see you later. That's why at one point I was saying to people, like, I'll catch you later this side or the other. Because it's not really a goodbye. It's just okay, well, for now. Yeah. She's not gone, though. Debbie, okay, so. Yep. Okay, so Debbie, I want you to go to Psalms. And I'm actually going to say Psalm. I know it may not fit, it may fit. And I don't know Psalms that well. So I'm being called to ask you to go to Psalms 23 when you go home. And if you can light incense or a candle and speak that out loud. In wherever the biggest area of the home feels heavy, or apartment or whatever it is. But Psalms, and like I said, I'm saying 23, I don't know why. Hopefully it'll fit for you. I know that that is literature that you have, that you got it. Okay, so Psalms 23, like I say, light a candle, light incense, speak it out loud wherever the heaviest is. Just say it. And also you're going to say out loud, I am a sovereign being. You have no right to be here. Okay, so the first thing your ancestors need me to let you know is that you need to give them an offering. You came in and that was the first thing out of my mouth, right? Like, you want to work with your ancestors. Your ancestors are saying, because that connection is going to be better when you do it. Baby, it doesn't matter whatever incense. It's like whatever draws your fancy. Okay? If you you can look for anything that's like breaks all or removes all, or dragon's blood is good, white sage is good, obviously Palo Santo. But I really, whenever I'm getting in tools, right, for my business, it's intuitively whatever I'm called to. Like, all of this is not one size fits all. Okay? Spirituality is not one size fits all. That's why I love to give you guys to say, hey, this is what I would suggest, and then whatever you do with it, that's for you. But B, it's that you have so many talents and knowledge and things locked within you that you need to tap into. That's why I also say with like the ancestors, is that that's a connection that you need to make. Like I can do the initial like, hey, they want like meet and greet, right? Like that's what we did. You came in, I gave you a little meet and greet, like your ancestors want to talk to you. I am a sovereign being. You have no right to be here. When I do that with thought patterns, like if I thought patterns, illness, stuff like that, I am a sovereign being. You have no right to be here until it lifts off, until that feeling lifts off of you. Another trick, because you can command them out, right? You can say, I'm not interested in playing today. You can literally, and I talk about this all the time, but you can say, get the fuck out, and imagine them going out the back door. So if you have a presence that's bothering you, like I say, the two statements I go to, and sometimes they butt right into each other, but is I am a sovereign being, you have no right to be here, and get the fuck out. And imagine them exiting the back door. And it works. I know on the spiritual side it works because I'm getting feedback from the spiritual realm saying, whatever is in that side of the house, like it's icky, but it's not able to touch your house. And I was like, no, I know. So that's that part of it. When you start casting it with your voice, because you're taking your power back by casting it with your voice, you're like, nope, not today, Satan. That literally is being like, not today, Satan. I'm not in the mood. And I also speak from personal experience. Like I've had high level demons get sent to my house, and then I have to be like, you don't have to open the door. You don't even, you just get the fuck out and imagine them leaving. And then imagine like that door is sealed with golden light and it can't be reopened by that spirit. Okay. And the thing is if they send you spirits or you've got spirits, the only way they stay is if you have a receptor for it. So like an example of this, I was sent a lust demon, right? Except for I've been celibate multiple times over the last 2 years where I've been long periods of celibacy. So when they sent me that lust demon, it didn't have anywhere to attach to. So he came in, he gave me his name, and I said, hey man, you don't have the right toll, get out. So that's also why I talk about cleaning up our lives, cleaning up our addictions, cleaning up our habits, our people. Like your closest circle, you need to make sure that they're good. And that's normal, Aaron. We have to show them the way. We have to show them that it works, especially with, I want to say teens, because 23 is still, I have a 23-year-old. It's still kind of young, but it's like we as mother have to be the example and show them like, hey, this really is legit. Eclectic, because the safe part of it is, the safe part of it is just trusting that your ancestors are always protecting you. And like I say, ooh, I love the Rose Oracle. I have it as well. Good choice. And I feel you are called to open it. So baby, get cracking on that. Energy work is calling in. Energy work, it's calling in the highest light of it, so that's how you know you're safe. And at any point, remember how I say, like, you can cast them out, you can tell them get away. So if you feel unsafe at any point, that's where you remove yourself and you cast them out. All right. And our voice is the biggest and easiest way to cast out first. So, all right. Okay, so let me go back to what, as far as offering to the ancestors, like I say, I'm feeling tobacco. I would offer them tobacco of some sort. So if you go to the store, maybe get a little like a cigarillo, like a little cigarillo, and put it out for them. Okay. And like I say, alcohol, they freaking love alcohol. So, you went in on big days like holidays, because I celebrate alone. No. Remember, it's your practice, right? So it's going to be intuitively where you feel. And Debbie girl, I had my hummingbird come back to me today. I was like, okay, little stalker, because she was flying outside my window. It's your practice. But that's also why I love to give the tools, because I'm like, I can give the tools, but it's how you make it yours, because you have so many tools and so many things that you are meant to do and bring forth. I'm just here to be like, hey, yeah, this is the way to go, but you make it your own, babes. It's customized, right? We talked about that. Yep. No, all the time. All the freaking time. Like when I'm seasoning stuff, because I was not raised with seasoning. And I can't even tell you how long we were into marriage before either my ex-husband or I realized that salt was an essential component, which I know sounds stupid as shit, but neither of our mothers taught us about seasoning. So now though, when I cook, and my ex hates it because he needed specific. Like when he needed to be specific. I'm over here like, no, I'm just going to keep going until my ancestors say stop. Literally, like that's how I season all, and it always comes out good. So it's, yeah. Yep. So it's, you just keep going. It's that intuitive, like, okay, this is enough, or this is what I need to say, or this is, and that's the other challenging, because I have a lot of men that have to be on structures and routines, and they're like, what are you doing tomorrow? Or what are you doing? What did you do all day? And I was like, I went wherever my intuition told me, which gets me in all kinds of great and weird places, yet I am driven by what feels right internally. It's not like a set pattern. So again, with our magic, with rituals, with anything that we do, it's whatever we're driven to. You can't be like, I have to be so rigid like this. It's, what does it feel like? Does it feel like you've reached that threshold? And that's also when I'm doing energy work. It's like, okay, did I reach the threshold of limit, or can I push further? It's like not that it has to be specific, because you hit different points when you're willing to be flexible and experiment. Let's talk about this. Like, scientists love to fail because then they get to experiment and play more. So in our own spirituality, it's, okay, how do we play with the limits and realize, like, this is what we need, or this is what works, or whatever. It's stop being so scared to fail, because fail is just a first attempt in learning. And fear, that's false evidence appearing real. So it's like, even if you fail, you're still going to have success because you got up and tried. Like, I love to give this example, right? If you were in basketball and yeah, you're on the team, but you never got up to make a shot, you can't be mad that you didn't get to play because you never took the chance to fail. Like, and I deal with this with my Aries babes, right? Like, they're so afraid to look bad at something that they don't even try. And I'm like, do you know how many times I've failed and gotten back up again? Like, that's my whole freaking life. Like, this is the other part. I have done and experienced so many things in my life because I'm like, you know what? First off, I get bored really easily. And second off, it's like, even if I fail, it's not a failure because we learned something, we have an experience, we have a cool story to tell. I have so many stories to tell. And it's, stop looking at failure as failure. It's just learning. And we are all this, like, in this mindset right now. This is all our first life, right? So we're all learning together. So if you're never even trying, you're gonna fail every time. Like, if you were on the basketball team and you never get up to try and shoot that shot, you're already failing because you showed up, you got on the team, you bought the uniform, but you don't actually want to take a shot because you're afraid you're gonna miss. I don't know why basketball, so whoever basketball is relevant for, like, I hope you're getting the messages, but think of, like, Michael Jordan. Do you know how many shots Michael Jordan had to take to be Michael freaking Jordan? It's also, they're gifts for our soul because it's, how do we teach ourselves with grace and compassion when we make a mistake? Right? Mistakes are gifts to our soul because it's that, okay, you know what, maybe it didn't work out the way we thought it did, but at least we tried. It's better than we were yesterday, right? You're like, oh, okay. And this is kind of a morbid thought, but what's the worst that can happen? Like, we kind of do need to start saying in our life, like, what is the worst that can happen if we fail at this? I mean, the worst is obviously, like, but even then, if that was the worst that could happen, why are you scared? Right? Like, and when you try so this is an example because I've always been this person. I've always been the cutting edge, leading frontier. is that if no one, like, if you are the one that tries, you're the one that makes the breaks, and you're the ones that sets the pattern for other people to do something. So it's that whole, you may be the one that hits the jackpot because no one else was willing, or they were too afraid to try, but you did, and you're the one that gets to sit in your luxury mansion because you weren't, I mean, like, yeah, you were probably scared as hell, but I always tell people, do it anyway. I don't care if your voice is shaking. I don't care if your palms are sweaty. Do it freaking anyway. I told this story yesterday, but I'm going to tell this story today. So, because I love the example of this. Like, yesterday, I don't know why I was so shaky. Probably because, well, I was afraid that they wouldn't trust me. So I went to PetSmart, and we live in the deep south, so you can already imagine the mentality. I went to PetSmart, and there's this transgender woman there, and it's a little challenging in the south, right? Because you never know how to react, or how they're going to react, or how anyone's going to react. So I went to PetSmart. The first time I saw her, I was like, The last time I saw her, she graciously was explaining to a very slow-minded man about her Baphomet necklace. And she handled it with such grace and compassion, and her and I had to talk about it afterwards. And I was talking to her about, like, girl, you gotta be careful, like, safety, especially in the South with men, and they feel some sort of way if they feel whatever. And yes, and the last time I went, I didn't see her, which I wanted to because I was wearing a cool shirt, which was Petrify the Patriarchy and a Medusa. I was like, so when I went in yesterday, I saw her, and she wasn't at the cashier, but I saw her, and I walked up to her because I love to give out crystals when I go places, and just to brighten other people's day. I saw her, and I walked up to her after I had checked out. Oh, well, hello. I'm glad my vibe is like, my vibe is my vibe. Okay, and also I'm going to tell you guys while I'm in here, if you go like my other platforms, I have at least 3 other platforms that need some love. So my backup account, which is Siren Song Lover Backup, my Facebook, which is Siren Song Lover Inc., and my YouTube, which is Siren Song Lover 5044. I'm trying to get those more subscribers over there so I can go live over there, because this account, because I say too much that people like but don't like there are people that don't like what I say, because God forbid people heal and are enlightened and don't get bamboozled by like bad people. They're trying to ban my account. Okay. So I don't have my deck right with me. If you want to drop them down below, or even if you want to, because I would love to go pull the book later. Like, I'm not going to do it right now. I'll go pull it. If you want to message them to me, and I will go pull my book and read the messages for myself that come up off of it. But, nice. Oh, those are good. I love that, because okay, first off, we are going through such huge transformation, and I'm going to talk about on the backside of things. I've done a lot of work with the divine masculine energy over the weekend, especially. So those masculines are awakening, and the feminines are awakening. So we are all awakening. Like I say, I did a lot of heavy work on Saturday with that, with the Taurus new moon energy, and also yesterday. So you guys are going to really, truly start seeing a lot of big things coming. So anyway, I walked up to Robin. I'm going to go back to the PetSmart story because I got sidetracked. I walked up to Robin, and I said, I leaned in, and I was like, if I asked you to close your eyes and open your hands, would you trust me? And she did. And I put a whole bunch of crystals in her hands. And I put my hands over it, to be like, okay, make sure you got it. And then she opened her eyes, and she just looked at me with this, like, look on her face. And I grabbed her hand, because, again, people in the South aren't nice, especially with transgender women, especially where we live. And I held her hands, and I was like, thank you for being the beautiful, bright light that you are. Like, the world needs more of that. And that was just, be kind to everyone you meet, because you don't know what struggles they're fighting. But the fact that she trusted me, and it was a beautiful moment in like the human experience, and it was a beautiful moment in the trust, like that trust fall on both of our parts, because Robin didn't have to trust me and I didn't have to do that with Robin. But it was like every time I see Robin, when I go into that PetSmart, and I don't like going to PetSmart, I definitely don't like going to that PetSmart, because that's like my ex's territory, and even though he don't have an animal, I try to in and out in that part of town, because we don't need no mess with him. And every time I go into that PetSmart, like, I look for Robin now. After the Baphomet thing, after her graciously explaining to a very slow Southern man about Baphomet, and I look for her, because God, if she doesn't make my heart happy every time I see her, because I know, like, even though she's probably faced so much, like, she still shows up, she still makes a difference in the world, she still shows love, she still educates people in the nicest way possible, and we need more of that, right? So, if you can't find the good, be the good. Man, all right. That's also why I love to give out crystals when I go places. I had this example. I was feeling horrible on Monday, and I was called to give crystals when I went to Little Caesars. And I mean, like, I'm like beyond broke, and I was super in a bad mood, was not feeling good. It was an anniversary of my best friend's passing, and I gave the guy he was another one. I said, hey, can I give you something? He's like, yeah, and I pulled it out and I put it in his hands. He just looked at me, but before I left, he said, I appreciate you. And I was like, I can't even say, like, when you're feeling bad and you give to others, because then I actually was taken care of later in the afternoon. It was that whole, like, even the small things you do that you don't think matter, it's like the universe reciprocates. The universe takes care of you. It's watching, because it saw how you were good when no one else needed to. Yes. So I give so many crystals, because I have, like, so hearts are a thing for me. Like, that's on my path in the last 4 years since I woke up. I know even if I'm down, I can look down at the ground and find hearts and be like, okay, bitch, like, the universe is guiding you. It loves you. Keep going. For this exact reason. So I love that you give out heart rocks, because yes, I give out crystals, like, whenever I can, or remember, or like I say, if I'm feeling like bad, I love to give out crystals. So, because it doesn't matter if I'm having a bad day, it's like, how can you make someone else's day brighter, even if it's a tiny thing? And I'm going to say this. I go to fast food, I especially give them out at fast food restaurants, because those people, like, people treat them so fucking horribly. So when I go to fast food restaurants, if I think about it or I'm feeling like it, I will pull some crystals out and give them. And you would be amazed, like, men will take them and then not want to share them with anyone. Women will take them and then, like, they'll be like, oh, and even the men, they'll be like, oh, look at these cool rocks. And another person will come over and I'll give them some too. Because it's that whole, like, love is meant to be shared. Prosperity is meant to be shared. Spiritual knowledge, say it again, spiritual knowledge is meant to be shared. That's why I do what I do so much, even though I'm hurting, I'm broke and broken, because it's all meant to be shared, because you don't know, like, doing what I do, and this is a prime example, doing what I do, you don't know how many women have come back to me and they said, I got the courage to leave that person, or that knowledge helped me XYZ. So it's, you don't know who's listening, and you don't know who's impacted, and you don't know who's going to survive because of you. So, all right. That was a lot. That was heavy. And I love it, though, because it's that, while hurt people can hurt people, and not every person does hurt other people when they're hurt, yet healed people. So that's part of my thing, is like, healed people. So as I heal, I turn around and I grab the next hand so that person can come along. And then when that person is at the place of stability, they can turn around and grab the next hand of that person. So how do we start? making those healing hands, those healing circles, and lifting each other up. And also, like, this is a big thing. You never have to tell another woman her crown is crooked. You just help her fix it and say, hey, you're a beautiful queen. Okay? Woo. Woo. Yeah. I'm just going to say I did a lot of energy work today. I'm feeling the releases. I hope you guys are too. That is the part. I hope you guys feel the release. I hope you can start breathing easy again. I hope you can start loving your life, loving yourself, loving each other. And part of loving people is also being like knowing that you have to leave them be. Sometimes you have to know, like, you love that person, but I'm going to love them from a distance. Like, I love people. I'm like, I love people from at least a preferably half an hour distance. Be like, if I don't like you, I'm glad because that's how we heal also, Erin, is by taking all of our stuff and putting it in art, transmuting it. Like, I had a guy who is, ironically, my sadistic tattoo artist, and he was going through shit. And I'm like, you need to be creating right now. And then ironically, he went from not doing it at all to now putting videos of him playing guitar on TikTok and him creating songs and poetry. And it was like, instead of being angry, instead of throwing hex hands, yes, you're meant to be creating, whether you're painting, dancing, singing, channeling your pain into a poem. That's the whole point, right? And part of my, because I'm creativity, right? I love reading because it's that, how do I help others feel inspired? How do I help others? Because here's this part of it. I love it. Here's this part of it. When people tell me, like, one of my girls is like, I'm aspiring to be a singer. I'm like, girl, I cannot wait as part of your collective to get that first ticket to your show. Because if I helped you reach that point, I want you to be sending me a ticket because I want to be showing up, just like your paintings. Girl, if your paintings get in a gallery, or when your paintings get into galleries, let's say it like that. When your paintings get into galleries, I want you to send me the video, send me an invite, and I'll be like, yep, there we go. Erin made it. Erin didn't become a statistic. That's the other part of it. When you are so good. Lavender's a good one, babes. Lavender's a good one. I'm glad you chose lavender. But it's also, like I say, I'm gonna be like, no, it's a multiple choice. It's whatever it calls you, babe. And if you didn't like it, all you would have to do is just not use it again and pick a different scent next time. So, I mean, and that's the thing with life also. Even if it fails, like, even if we're creating peace and it isn't perfect, okay, start again. Yep. It is. Oh, girl. Okay, did you get I know I'm crying. Sorry, girls. Milk and honey bath with some lavender oil. Chef's kiss. Ooh. Is that you, Badger, or is that one of the cats? So milk and honey bath with some lavender oil. Heaven. I love rose oil. Okay. Hi, Eating Bubbles. I'm Lara Joe, Siren Song Lover. We're doing collective. We're talking about healing. We're talking about collective energy. I teach a lot of spiritual knowledge. So come on in. If you have a question about spirituality, spiritual knowledge, ancestors, let me know. If it's a general collective energy you're looking for, we're kind of chilling. The noises of aviation impeding on my life. Not surprising. Sorry. If I never heard another airplane in the world, I'd be happy. Alright, let us see. I am Lara Joe, Siren Song Lover. To do one-on-ones with me, that is through my Ko-Fi. Good. Okay, you know what? Eating Bubbles, you'll figure it out, babes. You'll be like, oh... Because that happens all the time. People will be like, I don't know why, but I stayed and I listened. And now we're fast friends. So I had that happen. One of my women who I met the day after Valentine's Day we were talking last night. She's like, I don't know why. She's like, I happened on your live, and she's like, I felt called to stay, and now 2 months balls deep into our relationship. So, yeah. 5 of Swords, betrayals, heartbreaks. It's time to let it go. Time to let it go, even if you have to do it radically. I know sometimes we don't feel like we can let it go. No, sometimes you literally just have to say, like, F this, I'm out, I don't care. Swords is mental energy, and with 5, that's always like change. We gotta do something different. Okay? Nice. Love it. Always. You know, and that's the other part. I am here to prove to you that women get better as they age. Because I started reverse aging. When I started tapping into my healing, when I started listening to my intuition, when I tapped into my spiritual gifts, I lost 90 pounds. I started glowing differently. So as you recognize and love you and embellish, like nurture and embody you, you start glowing different. And yes, I'm here to prove, because you can look back at my pictures. I've got one pinned where it shows like what I looked like when I started 4 years ago, and now I don't look like the same person. And I actually do look like I've gotten younger. So that's that part of it. As you start loving you, you will start looking younger. So, and I'm telling you, a lot of these dusty boys are not getting better. I start looking at these men, I'm like, ooh. Like, I hadn't seen my ex in a hot minute. I saw him at court. He looks like he's aged about 10 years. And we're the same freaking age. I'm like, and I know he and his new wife are over there being mad at me, but I'm like, dude, I saw that dude was a train wreck. I saw that he was draining my life energy, and I got away. And, you know, healing looks good on me. Healing looks good on you. So stop letting dusty people get you at a discounted price. Okay? Because that's the other part. Not everybody can have access to you. I told somebody yesterday, he was trying to hit on me. 2 guys were. But I was like, there's an acronym that comes with me. You can say it's FEEL, which is finite, expansive, exclusive, expensive, and life-changing. So you need to start setting the bar for yourself. So again, if we want to say it, we are going to say people are going to feel our presence. Finite, time with you is finite. Not everybody gets a seat at your table. Not everybody gets all your time. They're not owed it at all. I don't care who they are. They're not owed it. Expansive, we're going places. Expensive, yeah, it costs to sit at my table because we're doing the big things. Exclusive, like I say, not everybody gets that seat, not everybody gets that invitation, right? Because if they came in your house, they would steal your shit, they would break it, and they would ruin the day. So exclusive, not everybody gets a seat at the table. With you, with me, with anyone, no one is owed it. And life-changing. Okay? Start embodying that. And I'm going to say this, and it's kind of a imposter syndrome, but it's that fake it till you make it. Dress for the job you want, not the job you have. So that's why like yesterday, I know I showed up wearing a bright hot red velvet dress with a tiara, because I was like, I am the damn empress. I know I'm the empress, but it's that even if you're not feeling it, dress up like a fucking empress with tiara and all, because you are royalty. And stop letting other people tell you that you're not. Stop letting them tell you that that's silly. No, you know who you are. You knew who you came here to be. So stop letting other people tell you. Okay? I hope that landed. If that landed for somebody, please let me know. I've even put tiaras on boys, and they love it. So everybody wants to feel royalty, and you are. So start acting like it. Live the life, and that's when we're also manifesting. If you're manifesting from a point of pain, you're not manifesting the best. I realize, so that's where, okay, baby, you need to become your own best friend. You don't truly hate yourself. I promise. Okay? And if you can afford it, eating bubbles, I really feel like you and I need a one-on-one, because I do feel strongly called with you. I feel like a one-on-one would be of benefit. I'm going to drop the details right now. We'll talk about it. No, you need to adjust your crown, my love. Because, okay, First off, you've probably gone through some epically hard shit, so I need you to realize how freaking tough you are, first off. Okay, second off, I say this all the fucking time, so I'm glad you're here eating bubbles. But you have gotten yourself through 100% of your hardest days without the help of anyone else. You, alone. The days that you begged, screamed, cried, got down on your knees, and said you didn't want to do this anymore, guess what? You got up the next day. So give yourself some credit, please. 'Cause I know you don't always love yourself, but you are the one that can change you, and you have gotten yourself through so many things that you don't even talk about, right? Because we don't talk about Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club, we don't talk about Fight Club. So there are things that you carry that you've gotten yourself that other people would look at you like, how? And you're like, I don't know, I just did. So give yourself some credit. And I actually, do you have an affinity for words like poems, poetry? I feel like you have a lot of like lyrical stuff, but like snarky. So I feel like you would be like a good like satire or writer. And please let me know if that resonates. And are you a Capricorn? I know that was a lot. Yet. Okay, so no, but your sassiness serves you, babe. But stop being sassy with you. Because it's not true. Those are, okay. Those self-hatred, that's not self-hatred, babe. Those are robes that your family put on you to wear. Those are all projections. Because when you look at the end of the day, you're not any of those things that people have told you you are. So stop wearing them. When I say I lost 90 pounds, that's because I stopped wearing the layers of other people and realized who I wanted to be underneath. So, I would love to do one-on-one. Let's talk about it. But, okay, so if you want to do a one-on-one with me, it's Ko-Fi, which is ko-fi.com/SirenSongLover. I do Reiki, sound therapy, inner child healing, PTSD healing, womb healing, you name it, we do it. Okay, I do a lot of shit, but that's the point. I do a lot of shit so that you guys can find your things. I also channel ancestors. Like, I am a medium, and some of those ancestors, which somebody's ancestor came through yesterday, and I was just like, oh, good God. And it was, like, late in the morning. I was like, oh, good God. So, to tip your favorite tarot reader, which I greatly need, is Cash App, which is Siren, capital S, Song, capital S, Lover, capital L. Okay, so 6 of Swords and Leo. Strength. This is saying you're gonna be moved away to safety. Sometimes it feels like you, and I was talking about the ferryman today. Sometimes life is literally like you're gonna be put in that boat with the ferryman. They do all the work. You just have to sit there and go along for the ride. Even if you feel like shell shocked, you know, like when something big, because this is something happened the last few days for me. It literally, like, parts of this journey in the last day, especially today, was like, I just feel like shell shocked, like I can't really do shit. So it almost feels like, you know, you're put in the ferryman's boat and they get you to safety and you just sit there and like process for a minute. Because when you're ready, you will find your strength. You'll get back up. You'll realize, because strength in Leo is all about that royalty, loyalty. You are the best. It's the sunshine energy, right? So take that moment to rest, even if it feels like the ferryman's carrying you, even if it feels like you're cradled in the arms of angels, God, whatever, right? You're being moved to safety, and you will, when you're ready, when it's time, you'll get back up. When that ferry ride is over, when your ride is over, like when you're done being carried, you're going to get back up and you're going to show everybody, right? Because especially if you've got like heavy Leo energy, like female Leo energy, whether you are a Leo or you just embody it, like you are protective as shit, right? You protect your pride. The pride, like the family. You protect your pride. You protect your man. And you will. And you do already. So take that moment to rest, to breathe, drink water, meditate. Okay? These are my 4 pillars. And especially it's come up for my community this week and myself. When you're feeling so burnt out, overwhelmed, breathe, rest, drink water, meditate. Even if you don't know what the fuck to do and you're so overwhelmed, breathe, rest, drink water, meditate. That rest can be 30 seconds of breath, right? But just long enough to catch and be like, and then move on. When it's dark, all you have to do is get through to the morning. The sun always shows up again, right? So even when it feels really dark, all you have to do is rest and get up the next day. And yeah, the next day may be hard too, but you made it through the freaking night. So when it gets dark and it's hard, breathe, rest, drink water, meditate. And I know it sounds so simple, so basic, but that's the whole freaking point. I'm teaching you guys things that are easy that you can do if you get in a spiral, right? You're having a hard time, you're hyperventilating. Breathe. Even this is a beautiful reset breath. I'm going to show you guys really quick. So you're going to inhale as deep as you can through your nose, inhale a little bit more, and then release slowly through your mouth. That's a good way to get that you out of your fight and flight, that mental spiral. So what it looks like is this. It's all... You're resending that oxygen to your brain, especially if you're hyperventilating, right? Because the whole point is to, and this is, I'm doing breathwork studies right now. And they're like, you can't control your heart rate. You can't control your stress levels. You can't control your blood pressure, right? You can control your breathing. So when you feel like your heart rate is out of control, okay, so tap in your breathing and see if you can get your breathing to slow you down and then slow your heart rate down. You may not be able to control some factors, but you can control other factors that can control that factor. Okay? It's also, like I say, why I've been teaching the principle for so freaking long. Breathe, rest, drink water, meditate. And it sounds so easy, but it really is. Like, life is simple, not easy. The basics are simple. Like I say, and I know I keep saying like I say, but I had a client and she had reached out to me, and I know I've given her this principle so many times, yet she had reached out to me on a day that I was already having a hard time. I was struggling and she was struggling, and I was like, baby, your basics, because that's what I had to do too. Like, she was already under duress and I was under duress, and I was just like, okay, honey man, I need you to breathe, rest, drink water, meditate, because I'm struggling myself and I can't make you breathe, but I can give you the reminder. And when I'm, and that's the thing, and I had to do it with someone today. I was struggling this morning. Yesterday I went through some big things, really big things, and I was struggling this morning. I had someone reach out to me, and I sent her a message like, I'm not ignoring you. Hey babes. Oh, I'm doing just kind of collective, we're talking about collective energy principles right now. So I'm not actually reading at this moment. But I had someone this morning where they were struggling and I was struggling, and I was like, okay, I can't help you right now. I'm in the middle of my own thing. So I guess where I was going with that is, even when I'm struggling, I will send you a message, or I'll give you the basics and I'll get back to you when I can. Because even though I was struggling this morning, when they reached out early, I was like, hey, I'm struggling. I'll get back to you when I get a minute to breathe. And it did take a while, but when I got back and I was like, breathe, rest, drink water, meditate, I'll be back to you. I always come back to be able to make sure that you guys are taken care of. So that's the thing also, is that even if I'm not available, I'm going to try to remind you, or I've given you the clues before then to be able to handle it until I can get back and we can touch base. Because I did come back and I touched base, but I had to do a lot. Like, I did a lot of energy clear before I could get back to her, because I had homework to do. So, all right, Ariane. Okay, so I'm doing collective. I'm going to do just a few more collective cards, and then I'm going to hop out. I've been streaming for a little bit. I need to go eat. I haven't eaten all day other than some chips and some Skittles. I was too busy saging, doing cleaning, all kinds of stuff. It's been a whirlwind 24 hours since my last stream. Okay, strength and death. Okay, so if the energy resonates, though, baby, on my Twitch, please subscribe and like, and if you want to book personal like one-on-ones are deeply transformative. So if you come and you like my vibe, or you're getting information that you need, or you you want to read like a personal read, then I'm highly going to suggest you go to Ko-Fi, which is ko-fi.com/SirenSongLover. And tipping is always greatly needed, appreciated, love it. But if you want to do one-on-ones, which is where you truly change your life, okay, it's Ko-Fi, which is ko-fi.com/SirenSongLover. Okay, We have Leo strength again and death. This is Scorpio energy. I know things are coming to an end and it feels really scary because we don't know what the next step is. That it's having that strength, but knowing that it's always going to be better. And that's what I may. So that's the other part, Debbie, with the doing the thing tonight. That's okay, because you'll be able to do it when he's not home, and you'll have the correct space. You're probably not in the mental headspace yet. And sometimes what I have to do is like I'll buy materials, but I won't be able to do it for a little while because I wasn't in the right headspace to do it. So even though you have it, and I love it because you'll be ready when you're ready, you need to mentally get prepared there. And I have a feeling you and I will probably talk more before you actually get there. So that's beautiful. At least you have the tools, right? You're already setting yourself up for future success. Okay. Adriana, we're doing collective reads, and without knowing what your dream is about, we can't channel, and there are other people that have been asking and waiting patiently. So if you like the vibe, then hang out. If you don't, okay. Okay, 9 of Wands, 10 of Wands. So 9 of Wands is finally saying, I am done with this journey. I'm done carrying other people's burdens. I cannot carry, like Debbie, 9 of Wands is finally saying, I can't carry that full grown man. Even it, like he's a grown man, I can't carry him. So 9 of Wands, probably if you just do you would go under energy service, and then you would pick the time, because the 30 minute is 45. Like they're based on the time amounts. That's how much the amount is. But to book is just the energy booking, and you would just, like I say, pick the price for the time that you want. Okay, 9 of Wands is finally saying you are an adult, or you can do your own thing. I'm not carrying your burdens. It's too much. 10 of Wands is finally saying enough, we're done, and putting it down. 10 of Wands is saying I can't carry another freaking ounce. Okay, so 9 of Wands saying I'm ready for it. 10 of Wands, and we really do go up the staircase, and then we finally say no, we're not carrying that. Okay, so then we have 5 of Swords. We had it before, but we have it again. 5 of Swords is saying that mental chaos, that conflict has got to go, because all it's doing is cutting you, period. Right? If they're playing mind games, it's time to go. I actually had somebody say to me the other day, they're like, grow up. And I was like, why do I need to grow up? You're the one working with a bunch of people to play mind games. I'm not the one that needs to grow up, because I'm over here sharing my experience. The fact that you don't like my experience, that's your problem, because you were playing games with people, lots of them, lots of adults, and lots of children that knew better. So I'm not the one that needs to grow up. You need to go talk to the adult that you took guidance from. So 5 of Swords is finally saying no. No is a whole spell. No is a whole sentence. No is a whole boundary, because they cannot violate your free will. And if they do violate your free will, they're going to meet your ancestors. Please remember that. When people violate free will, they're going to meet your ancestors. And your ancestors don't play about you. Okay? So tell people no. Stand on it. Don't waver. And I don't care how many times they ask you. I don't care how much they belligerent. No. Slam the door in their face if you have to. If it disturbs my peace, good day. I say good day, sir. Talk to the hand. You don't have to say all that. And I really wouldn't. With abusive people, with abusive people, here's what I've learned. You quietly remove yourself and get to safety. Okay? If they're abusive, if they're bent on hurting you, you do not explain to them. You just shut the door, and you do not have to explain shit, because they knew that what they were doing. They know what they're doing is hurtful. They know it's abusive. If they're surprised about that, that's weaponized incompetence. Sorry, I don't know why I was struggling so hard. There was another word I wanted to use, but stop letting people weaponize incompetence, because they know what they're doing. So say no. And like I say, you don't have to explain it. You just remove yourself. And if they're surprised, that's too bad. They can hit the door. Oh, excuse me. Queen of Wands, love it. She came out again. So this is being fiery, passionate. This is saying I protect me at all costs. It's a rattlesnake. I grew up in Arizona, so rattlesnakes are prevalent. Like, they will shake their rattle first, and then they're going to bite you. So, slay, queen. Take care of you. Take care of your nest. Protect it at all costs. That's your right. Debbie, please be safe in your travels. I'm glad you hopped in. I'm glad you found guidance. I look forward to working with you very freaking soon. Yep. And baby, you need to, because how much of your life, I know that how much of your life have you said you to everybody else but you? So you need to finally start saying me, and not giving two craps about anybody else, because you have taken care of everyone else your whole entire life. You need to take care of you, because when you take care of you and you love you, the universe says, yeah, girl, I've been waiting for you to ask for it your whole life. So Hermit is going within, shutting the door, letting everybody else fight their fights, and you self-reflect, you go into your shell, you Hermit, go into your cocoon. If you're not feeling good, sit down on the couch, take a nice shower, sit down on the couch, get in your jammies or in your room, because I know the sun issue, but Hermit is saying, I get to take care of me. Pour yourself a nice warm cup of tea, make yourself some nice comfort food, sit, devolve, be you. What I love about the turtle, it teaches us to pull all of our vulnerable points into our shell and heal, because fuck everybody else, right? You can't have anybody else in your shell. It can only be you. So exactly that. Hermit is saying, no, I need to take care of me. Okay? Queen of Pentacles, this is as you learn to take care of you, as you learn to put down and cut off anything not for you, you get to be, love it, you get to be nurturing, abundant, fill your cup. Imagine this whole, you get to take you on vacation because you finally said yes to you. So you get to take your money, your time, and love you, nurture you. Wheel of Fortune. I love how it talks, and I love how I'm not even looking at the cards. I literally am just going through the deck, right? Not even looking at it, but yes. And babe, you need to lock the door. I mean, literally lock the door. I started having mental peace when I finally put a key and lock door on my bedroom door, and my family gave me such a hard time. I mean, my ex-husband threatened to take my door off the hinges because I put a lock on my door. We were in separate rooms by that point. It's no, I am allowed to, no, so babe, I need you to get a key lock, an actual lock, or, you need to lock you, babes. I love it, Erin. I love, because 5 is all about changing and protection, and it's divinely guided. So Wheel of Fortune is saying, no, we've walked the path, we've done the thing, everything is spinning, we're getting the results from what we've been doing. And other people are going to think you're lucky. No, you're not lucky. You put yourself in the position. It's when you get moved to safety away from bad people, they're going to say, oh, you're lucky. You dodged a bullet. Nope, you saw the signs, you moved out of the way, and you got to safety, okay? 5 of Cups, this is saying I can no longer be around people that are draining my cup. They were all partying without me. They thought it was fun. This has to change. I have to change my circle. I have to change my life, everything. 9 of Swords. I love it. Mental enlightenment. Again, saying no more. 9's the end of the road. If you want to sing Boys to Men the end of the line, you can. This is finally saying no more. You cannot come with me. Okay, I'm about to hop out too, Debbie. I've been on for way longer, and I've done so much freaking energy work today. Yesterday, this whole week since Saturday has been nonstop and heavy and big and deep. But I need to go rest. I need to go hermit and take care of me, honestly. 2 of Pentacles is that balancing of your finances. So yes, as you finally start getting on your path and leaving people behind, because it's a vibrational energy, right? You can't stay at their level. You must rise up, because you will feel so uncomfortable. And that's the part of it. When you are in environments that are not for you, you will start to feel so uncomfortable in whatever way possible, whether it be your body revolting, whether it be ooh, that person is mean. You will start feeling nope, gotta go, when it's not aligned. I love it. Came back to the top. Okay, babies. I love that I only pulled one deck out to talk today. I love that we got a lot of information out there. I feel like we have a lot of healing going on. And I know, okay, so I want to talk about this because to just share. Saturday was the Taurus full moon, or new moon. And I did a huge energy thing for myself, for the collective, for the divine masculine. And the divine masculine like literally popped through so hard. And now he's done it twice in 1 week. Like that energy of that divine masculine, he's coming. And he popped through for me twice. Here's what I talk about though. I have a client, friend, whatever you want to call him, in New Zealand. I hadn't talked to him for a little while. I did my thing Saturday, which would have been Sunday his time. And he showed up in my live Sunday, my time. So it would have been Monday for him. And he's like, hey, I had this really weird thing happen yesterday. I didn't really, or he just said I had this really weird thing happen. I didn't really put too much at the time. I was just like, yeah, okay. You know, I gotta keep pushing, popping, moving. I get the info, but I keep going. And when I actually sat with it, he had received light codes. He had woken up Sunday his time, but Saturday my time, as I was doing my energy work with the divine masculine. He, like I say, I'm in the United States, he's in New Zealand. We haven't talked in over a month, and he had this experience. But apparently when I did that, he woke up with light codes on his wall. And like, he's like, not like physically written, but when he woke up, he saw like there were codes on the wall with a word and stuff. And I was like, so that's what we're doing. We are changing, like I'm changing the DNA of Earth on a grand level. So let's get in. Okay? You know, like that's the thing we don't realize. When I say like I've been doing really big things, that was Saturday. I was projecting light codes in New Zealand. So, and you can too. Let's talk about it. Let's learn on it. Okay? We're doing big things. We're healing a lot. I can't do the work for you though, guys. I can show up. I can give you the lessons. I can give you the information. You can most definitely compensate me for my time. Greatly needed, appreciated, greatly needed. Like I'm in a bad spot, yet I still show up. So, all right, my loves. I hope you have a great day. Like I say, if you would like to tip, if you can tip, it's greatly needed and appreciated. It's Siren Song Lover, which is capital S, Siren, capital S, Song, capital L, Lover, to book one-on-ones, which again, changing lives with it, right? And I say feel, right? My time's finite, expansive, exclusive, expensive, and life-changing. That is through Ko-Fi, which is ko-fi.com/Siren Song Lover. On my website, though, on my Ko-Fi, I do have journal prompts, like journal manifestations. I do have chakra healing. We have inner child stuff. So it's not just readings, and if you guys need help with things, like if you need stuff, send me a message, because that's something I can't always put up on Ko-Fi. Like if it's something I know, and I know how to do a lot, and that's not bragging. That's just, I know how to do a lot. To actually list it is probably, we'd be here all day. If you need something or you want something, then please send me a message and I'll see what I can find for you that we can make work and find a price range that's feasible. But Ko-Fi. All right, my guys. I hope you have a great day. I'm Lara Jo. I'll catch you later. Please